Hey guys, it's Bertin with OmniFlex here, and today I have a workout vlog for you guys. This is a lower body workout. I've been running an upper-lower split for a decent amount of time, I'd say like a couple years. I think it's a pretty good split for beginners and even advanced athletes, but once you get more advanced, I would recommend either changing the split to something like maybe push-pull legs, or doing some type of variation of upper-lower. So what I'm doing is upper-lower with max effort and skill work. So basically a conjugate program. I don't recommend a conjugate program for someone that's a beginner or even an early intermediate. I think it's something that's better to be tailored towards a specific performance outcome, while I think beginners and intermediates would be better served by just getting generally stronger all around. So right now you see me doing this band exercise. I had a knee injury before. I'm just coming back from that now, and this helps me open up my hips, so I started doing that before I do any of my other warm-ups. Right now I'm doing a box squat, and you can see I actually have to shift my weight a little bit because I'm still getting used to putting even weight on each leg. I think box squat is both a good recovery tool and a good developmental tool for your normal squat, even if you're not injured. Box squat makes you have to generate a lot of force at the bottom, and you don't get the stretch reflex to assist you at the bottom of the lift. So I think it's a really good exercise, and it's been a staple of my training for a pretty long time. Right now you can see me just doing the one plate warm-up. Even this felt uncomfortable, to be honest. I didn't like how this felt at all, but I'm just getting back to it, and I'm not going to be comfortable at all squatting. Right now, I'm just trying to make sure I don't feel any pain. Normally, I ramp up a lot quicker, so I don't even do the bar for weight. I'll just do one plate and then jump up plates. So one plate, two plate, three plates, and then whatever the max lift is. So right now, I'm going up to 2 plates, and you can see that. I'm just doing a lot of warm-up because I'm really not trying to feel any pain in my squat. So this one felt pretty good so far. Now, I should be pausing a little bit more on these. You see on that one I paused, but the box shouldn't be shifting backwards when I do it. So I think I need to work on that a little bit. With the 3 plates, I start adding the belts. I could probably do it without the belts, if I'm being honest, but I think that I want to get comfortable wearing the belt. So I think that for a while, I only lifted raw, so no belts, no nothing, but I think it's actually good to learn for a competition, so that's what I started learning. Now, this max attempt for 355, right? Yeah, that's 355. The box moved a little bit. I think I could have done a better pause at the bottom, but honestly, I'm pretty happy with that for just getting back to it without any injury. And I didn't feel any pain on that attempt, so that was good. After that, I moved on to the deadlift. So for the deadlift, I normally deadlift conventional. I've pretty much always deadlifted conventional, and I've always hated the sumo deadlift. Without getting into like the politics of sumo deadlift versus conventional deadlift, I don't really like the lift very much, but recently I've come around as a developmental tool. I think sumo deadlift is something that can be really useful. And in addition to that, as someone that is trying to compete, trying to get as strong as possible, I should be learning how to do the sumo deadlift. Now, certain body types are going to be more suited to the sumo deadlift than others. I have really long legs and really long arms, so that means that I could sumo deadlift a lot more upright than most people. This means that I have a really big mechanical advantage. I can get really good leverages with the sumo deadlift that I probably couldn't on the conventional deadlift. This is in theory. In practice, I actually don't feel that strong at all in sumo deadlift. It's just never felt like a natural movement to me, so it's something that I really need to learn if I want to get as strong as possible, because apparently my body type is suited for it, and I know people that have 100-pound differences between their sumo deadlift and their normal deadlift, so I think it's something that I should learn, even though I hate the idea of doing it. It feels uncomfortable. You can see that 4 plates. Normally on a conventional deadlift, I can rip 4 plates off the ground, but that one was really tough. And this one you're going to see is not a good sumo deadlift. I wouldn't endorse this form at all. You can see that I kind of ship back, I kind of hitch a little bit. This is a horrible, horrible lift. I should probably just stick with lower weight and not try to do heavy weights until I actually understand the lifts a little bit more, but I ended up getting it in the end. After that, I moved on to belt squat. I moved on to belt squat. Now, the belt squat is something that I really like as a staple of my programs, especially for lower body. I think the belt squat is really good for simulating the more forward motion of the squat. So you're getting a more upright position than you normally would on a normal squat. Although you can just do it without your hands. I like to use the hands because I don't want to be too fatigued. You notice in the first one that I actually didn't use plates, and then after I actually added plates. So the plates help me get as low as possible without the machine hitting the bottom. So before, I wasn't actually able to squat as deep, and I think a lot of the benefits of the belt squat come from being able to squat as deep as possible. I think you're trying to work your quads. The quads are always better worked when you're able to hit a deeper range of motion. So that's why I add those plates. I think if you have this machine in your gym, I'd highly recommend adding some plates underneath your feet. Now, I only go up to 2 plates in this workout because I'm really not trying to max out here, and honestly, I start to feel a little bit of knee pain. Even though it's good to work full range of motion and do reps, get your volume in for squats, I just am trying to be on the safe side. I don't want to re-injure my knees. I think that's a really important thing to understand with recovery. So I started to feel pain, and I just kind of started to move on because I don't want to re-injure myself. So I moved on to glute ham raises. I think glute ham raises are a great exercise too, because it's one of the few movements that actually works your hamstring through its full range of motion. So normally, you get to work it either in the shortened position or in the lengthened position, but this is brought through the full lengthened and shortened position of the hamstring. This exercise also puts your back in traction, meaning that your back is being lengthened. So you can think of it as the opposite of compression. So axial fatigue is actually a very specific type of fatigue that occurs when you're doing a lot of load-bearing exercises for the spine. Your spinal erectors get fatigued, and that's a certain thing that affects your recovery quite a bit. So I think anything that requires, anything that puts the body in traction is a pretty good lift to do, especially after you do some heavy lifts like squat and deadlift. I think those are going to be really useful. I do a few sets of these. These are brutal for me. I don't know why. I have really strong hamstrings, and I think I have really strong glutes, but 10 reps of 25 pounds is a lot for me. You can see me struggling right there. It's really brutal for me. Then I still have to do one more set. I really don't want to do this set. I almost think about going home, but I'm in the gym to work hard. You're in the gym to work hard. There's no reason to skip out on these. There are times where if you are feeling really fatigued, you should just stop. There's always a balance of trying to recover versus going as high intensity as you can. The thing that I'm thinking about right now is I just did heavy squats and heavy deadlifts. So those 2 exercises are pretty taxing on the body, and I worked a lot of the musculature of the legs. My legs are already pretty warm right now, so I don't actually need to go that hard on these other exercises. The kind of format for a lot of my workouts are heavy exercises at the beginning, maybe some type of skill or some type of movement or movement pattern specific exercise that I'll do. Then it's just kind of fluff work, volume, trying to get the muscle bigger. Then I'll just do like some accessory work or something that I think is lacking. That's kind of the template for a lot of my workouts. So right now I'm just kind of doing the thing that I need to improve, which is adductors and abductors. I think that's going to be really important to be more stable in the squat, because you can't really tell in the box squat, but in a normal squat, I'm not as stable as I probably should be. So I like to do exercises like these. Well, like is a strong word. I actually hate doing these exercises, but I think it's good to do exercises like these because you should be working your weak points. You shouldn't be doing exercises all the time that you're super good at doing. Like, you should be doing the things that you're the worst at. Now, I'm really weak at this exercise, so you see me struggling a lot. That's because I hate this exercise so much. And you look kind of stupid doing it, but you know what? I'm after the gains. Then I move on to this machine. This is working the abductors. So abductors are moving your legs out, adductors are moving your legs in. And these are really important for the squat. My squat, again, is my weak point. So I really want to make sure these muscles are as strong as possible. One of the things in the squat that is really important is stability. So the adductors and abductors help with stability. The adductors are actually prime movers on the squat, but the adductors are very important for stabilizing. And there's a concept in lifting weights where you want to be more stable. So in general, stability equals more strength. You notice this if you ever do Bulgarian split squats. The actual exercise shouldn't be as difficult as it is, but the stability aspect actually makes it so that you can't use as much weight because you're wasting a lot of energy just moving. If you look into a concept called energy bleeds, it's kind of, you're bleeding a lot of energy trying to stabilize. Right now, I'm just doing a dead hang for time. I do dead hangs after the rest of the workout, pretty much every workout, because dead hangs are a really good exercise for, again, putting your spine in traction, lengthening the spine. And then on top of that, I think it's good to work on your grip at the end of the workout too. Grip training is really important, something that's not emphasized enough by most people. Grip training is really easy to do. All you need to do is hold something really heavy, or you can hang from something. Usually I do these with body weight, and then I add some plates with my weight belt. Depends how I'm feeling, but if I'm really burnt out, I'll just do body weight and then I'll end it. So that's kind of what I did for this workout. Thanks for watching.